Hey, how y'all doing? Randy Bell here. Welcome to Pool Getter TV. Oh, come here. That's my son right here. That's Riley. He's a little pool getter. Rebel number 2. All right, anyway, good to see y'all. Just want to give y'all a little story that I had about Daryl. I used to be Santa Claus over every Christmas Eve over there, pass out gifts. And of course, the main function was just to get together, have fun, have some drinks, pass out some gifts. And we got cool, unusual gifts all the time from the guys. And one of my favorite of all times is, of course, the Pantera hockey jersey. Yeah, boy. And, you know, we always got good stuff. People would always get jealous they weren't invited to the party because they missed out on the good gifts and stuff. But then you could get something good like this, and then in the next package, they'll load you up with, say, a thing of Mexican jumping beans, or some week-old stew cans, you know, been sitting around, something he didn't want to eat even when he was drunk. But anyway, got a whole bag full of stories here. We could go into all kinds of stuff. When Vince was through with his, this ain't about Daryl, but Vince, but anyway, when he was through with the tours, he dropped his bags of clothes off, or tell me to come pick them up, and I'd take them home. And of course, I saved most of them, I'll wear some of them, so on and so forth. As everybody knows, I was popular in high school. It was a one-hit wonder fluke, and when it did hit big, we had t-shirts made up, and did the tour. Joe's Garage, 6 nights a week, man. Rock and roll.
Is this the song that was supposed to be the hidden track?
This was going to be the hidden track on Cowboys from Hell, and the record company found out about it and said, no way, it ain't happening. We need some real music on y'all's debut album. So much for that one. All right, there's probably several different variations of this story, but Daryl had these made up. They rented an RV for one of their first tours. I think it was before they were signed. And they just tore it up. I mean, when they got it back, it was a piece of crap. And so they turned it in without saying anything. Well, they got a call back later, and it says, "What?" They said, "Well, everything's cool, but there's this huge, gigantic booger, and that's going to cost you $750." And they were talking about $750 or something like that. So Daryl went out and had these shirts printed up. And I've had it ever since.
What's the front?
Used to wear it every once in a while. But it's in the t-shirt bag. One of these days, I hope all this stuff's gonna make a room. Like pillows, curtains. I want to say hi and thank you again to Shannon Shantera, the lady, the picture lady, the one that's got all the goods. She busted me up with this picture here of me and Daryl back in the old days. I believe it's at Joe's, I'm not for sure. But Daryl had bought me this shirt, and every time that I wore the shirt, I'd get up and perform. Daryl had seen the shirt from across. He goes, "I walked in the store and I saw you over in the corner. Walked over there and it was this shirt." But anyway, he bought it for me. So anyway, I'd get up and I'd sing, but before I'd sing, you see Phil over here in the corner. He'd come down and he'd rip my shirt open, tear all the buttons off of it, and pull my britches down, then I'd start singing, you know, whatever song, whether it was Popular or Smoking in the Boys' Room or Mary Had a Little Lamb, whatever. But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. I sewed buttons on this shirt many times, and I still got it somewhere. I was going to bust it out and have Corey pull them off for me, but I couldn't find it. We'll do that on another episode, dude. Daryl hated being bored, and his whole mission was to not be bored and to entertain anybody that was around. And I'm sure you can get many stories from the guys on the tour bus. You know, even in his later years, I'm sure it never stopped. He did not like to be bored. And well, just for instance, we'd be out in the neighborhood growing up as kids, and there was a bunch of little kids in the neighborhood. They're all standing around doing nothing. You know, me and Daryl was just outside drinking a couple beers, talking, bullshitting, whatever. And, you know, he'd go, man, the kids ain't doing nothing. So he'd go in and get, you know, he did this at holidays and even regular times. He'd go in and he never spent change. He always kept it and put it in this bucket. And he'd load his pockets up with him. And he'd come out and he'd call the kids down and start bullshitting with them, telling them stories. And ask them what they're doing. They're saying nothing. He goes, y'all got to make something happen. You know, you got to blow it up. You know, all this good stuff. And so he'd start chunking this money in the air. And these kids were going freaking berserk, bumping into each other. And I mean, it was entertainment. And he would have a ton of coins. And so we'd have entertainment for an hour or two of these kids going after all this money, all these coins, and more, and fighting with the other kids. But, you know, back in our day, kids, you fought and then you were still best friends, you know, you got your stuff anyway. Throwing, making up games with pictures out of porn magazines. You know, you got to hit the poo. If you don't hit the poo, then you got to take a shot. If you hit the poo, it'll give you $5 or something, or, you know, owe you a burrito from Taco Bell or something. But with Daryl, never any boredom. PGA all the way. Y'all have fun. PGA all the way.